everyone, welcome to Cooking with Chef Rich. Today we're going to be making some cream of asparagus soup. Normally I don't use asparagus to make soup out of. I did actually have a fairly large catering job this weekend where I bought 7 cases of asparagus, and some of the bunches were quite thick. If you want to get a close-up of that. So with the asparagus like this, you can't really eat asparagus just like this. You either have to peel it, like literally whittle it down with a vegetable peeler. And when you're doing 70 pounds of asparagus, it gets very, very tedious. I had probably about 4 bunches like this, so I'm just gonna make some asparagus soup and show you what that's like. So I left this whole just so you can see what I'm doing. The tip I just cut off, and I'm gonna be using the tips for garnish. And I just kind of, probably about up to here. This gets really woody. So what we're gonna be doing, I'm gonna tell you what ingredients I'm using. So I have 4 pounds of asparagus. Like I said, this is mostly stems. These are the tips that I'm going to use for garnish. I have some standard Mirepoix, which is onions, carrots, and celery. I have some chopped garlic. I'm using chicken base. If you want to keep it vegetarian, use vegetable base, same thing. Some black pepper and some water. So, and some olive oil to saute our vegetables with. So let's jump right in. We're going to start cooking. Yeah, just maybe a couple teaspoons of olive oil and start sauteing our Mirepoix. And we're not going to be browning this, so I can actually add my garlic at this point too. Should be all right. And this is going to cook for probably about 5 minutes or so. Just very, very lightly. You don't want a very, very high heat. Once it gets hot, I'm going to turn it down to, not really simmer, but turn it down and just saute it for about 5 minutes. And I'll show you what it looks like then. See you shortly. So our Mirepoix, our onions, carrots, and celery have been cooking for right about 5 minutes. You can take a look at it. You notice it's not brown at all. Just starting to brown on the bottom a little bit, but it's fine. So next thing we're going to do is I'm going to add my asparagus and saute this just for about a minute. Minute and a half. And once this is done, I will show you what to do. So actually, while this is cooking, let's do something else. Sorry. I put up just a very small pan of water. I have some asparagus tips over here that I want to blanch off. This is just going to be for garnish for our soup. What we're going to do, I'm going to add some water, some salt to the water. How much salt do you add? When you cook a green vegetable, if you ever see a green vegetable that's very, very bright and vibrant, it has to be cooked in salted water. So how much salt do you add to your water? When I was young, I was taught that the water should be salty like the sea. So it should be pretty salty. And so I did add a decent amount of salt. I'm just going to drop this in. This is going to cook for just about a minute or so, and then I'm going to shock it. Shocking it means I'm going to drain it and put it directly into an ice bath, which will stop the cooking. So let's give this a stir. Like I said, this will take about a minute, and in a minute I'll show you what it looks like. So our asparagus tips have been cooking for right about a minute. How do you know when they're done? The obvious way is to taste one. The easy way, I should say. Careful, it is a little bit hot. That has probably another 45 seconds or so. So we'll let it go. Our asparagus has been cooking for right about a minute. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to add our water. Water should just cover it, basically. And I'm going to add our soup base and our pepper. And bring this up to a boil. So my cameraman actually said, did I define blanching? Blanching is cooking about 3/4 of the way, not fully cooked. When I drop it in the soup, it'll finish cooking just a tiny, tiny bit. Should still be a little bit crunchy. So that's what blanching is. So anyway, and this should probably be just about done at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strain this out. Then I'm going to drop it in a water bath. And that's going to, as I said, it's going to shock it or stop it from cooking in English. If you don't shock it right now, it's going to continue to cook, and eventually it'll turn into like that brownish color that overcooked vegetables looks like. So this will keep it nice and green. So anyway, when this comes up to boil, I will show you what to do next. See you shortly. Our asparagus soup just came up to a boil. I'm going to turn it down to a simmer, and we have to simmer it probably 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to guess. Basically, all the vegetables have to be soft enough to puree easy. So probably 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to guess it's going to cook, and I'll show you what it looks like then. So see you shortly. So our soup was cooking for probably right about 7 or 8 minutes, and I just want to show you two things. How do you know when it's ready? Because we're pureeing it, you want to make sure it smushes easy. So you notice that when I push it with a spoon, it totally mashes very easy. Same thing with this, I can pretty much mash it. It doesn't come apart very easy, but I can mash it easy. So you know it's ready to puree. I'm using a stick blender. If you don't have a stick blender, you can use a food processor or a regular blender. If you're putting in a food processor or a regular blender, I'd strain out some of the liquid, so it's not just all liquid. So I'm going to just puree this. Alrighty, nice and pureed. Next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to just taste it to make sure it's seasoned correctly. See if it needs any more salt or pepper. Tastes really good. And what we're going to do, because I'm going to be eating it now, I'm just going to add a little bit of cream directly to it. I'm just going to be stirring in literally maybe a ½ ounce of cream, so it's not really going to cool it down. If I was doing like a whole pot, I would add some cream and really heat it up. I forgot to open the cream. Oops. Oh, ½ ounce or so. Just stir this in. Garnish it with a little bit of asparagus. It is a cream of asparagus soup. You can't really see it, but it's in there. Anyway, and give it a taste. Really hot, but really, really, really good. Anyway, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Leave your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And be well. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much.